G'day everybody, welcome back to the channel. Got the old Weatherby Vanguard 204 up in the rack today. Why? It was giving me a few problems as you might remember from one of my last videos. Shooting great, but something happens with the bolt, the trigger mechanism. The bolt just won't engage. The firing pin won't engage, the bolt won't lock, and the gun just wouldn't work. So I pulled it apart and I put a Timney trigger setup in it, a whole new Timney trigger mechanism. I dropped that in, did a video on that, and it's a lovely trigger. Those Timneys are really, really good. I thought, great, problem solved. Again, about 20 rounds through it, same thing happened. So I'm thinking the problem has got to be in the bolt. There's only the bolt and the trigger. That's the only two things in it. Trigger's fine. So I reckon it's got to be the bolt. And when I pulled it apart last time, I got it going again. I pulled the bolt, pardon me, I pulled the bolt apart, and a lot of dirt and shit and everything, pasty, that pasty, greasy shit that gets in rifles. A lot of that fell out of the bolt. So I'm thinking that bolt's never been cleaned properly. There's a lot of residue and old oil and all the other shit you get in them. It's in the bolt. I've done this. This is clear. Yeah, no problems at all. But I think you'll find out a lot more. You see a lot more effect rather of that once you've got you're shooting. There's vibration, there's heat, etc., etc., etc. That's when it'll shake anything loose and it'll get down in amongst springs and that's what I think anyway. So what I'm going to do this time around is I'm going to pull the bolt out of the rifle. I'm going to pull the bolt apart and I'm going to give it a really, really, really good clean up. When I had a quick look at the bolt at the range last time, it didn't look like there was anything wrong with it. Nothing wrong with the firing pin. No broken spring. There didn't seem to be anything wrong with it. It's all this shit that's in it. So we'll do that, and hopefully this will cure the problem. So stick around. Rightio, we've got our bolt out of our rifle, and we pull him apart like this. There he is. He's underneath there. You just pull him, basically twist him back towards you. Like that, back to it, and out it all comes. Easy as. There's all your firing pin and spring assembly, and there's your bolt body. That's it. That's basically a Weatherby Vanguard / Howe 1500 bolt. That's all. There's nothing flash. So what we want is we want a longish container. We put the bolt in there in two parts, like that. Just put it all in there together. We want a paintbrush, just a shitty old paintbrush, and a shitty old toothbrush. All out of just our gun cleaning kit. And surprise, surprise, some petrol. There you go. Pour it in there. I know this stuff dear. Give him a good soak in some petrol. Now, don't panic about cleaning your rifles with petrol. I cleaned all my expensive trap shooting shotguns this way, did it for years, never ever did I have an issue. So this isn't a problem. So what we want to do is just let that soak for a little bit, just to let the petrol get into everything, and then we'll start scratching it up. So we'll come back in a couple of minutes. Rightio, our bolt's been pulled apart. It's been soaking here for a little while, and let's have a look at him here. Oh, yeah, now this bolt absolutely stunk of old grease. When we pulled it, absolutely reeked of it. So we'll get the firing pin bit first. We'll give that spring a good scrape with. Now the thing I like about petrol, it really gets into everything, really dissolves all the grease and all that other shit really well, and it'll dry. But to get it to dry, sometimes petrol will leave a bit of a residue behind, which is a slight oily residue or whatever. So because petrol knows the oil. So what we'll do is we'll hit at the end with a bit of acetone as well. It'll get the last of everything off. A bit of brake cleaner or something like that, and just let it air dry. But that pin has just come up so much cleaner now than what it was. It was just caked in blackness. So that's done. We'll call the pin done. He's all right there. So now we'll have a look at the bolt body. Now he's getting lots of nice petrol. You see them all coming out of the little gas holes there, so that's petrol running nice and through there. But what we're going to do to clean the inside, we get these things from the cheap shit shop called chenille sticks. I hope you can see that. When I was a kid, they were called pipe cleaners. Right? Probably not cool to call them pipe cleaners anymore. You know, all the woke people don't like this and don't like that. You know, they're just a little stick you buy. What are they? $2 or $2.50 for a pile of that, and that just for doing little jobs just like this. Okay, we can either fold him up and get him in there. Here he is. Okay, he's gone right to the bottom there. We'll just give him a scrub. He's nice and black. I'll go again. And get all the shit out of this bolt. Works almost like a bottle brush. And that'll go in there and just disturb everything in there and make life a bit easier when we want to. All right, so that's pretty much the bolt done. I'll give the bolt face a little scratch up with the toothbrush while I'm here. Not that there was much wrong with that. That was okay. So that looks like she's pretty much done. I'm happy with that. A good bit of shit come out of there. Have a look in there. Well, that looks a hell of a lot cleaner than it did. All right, so we'll let this air dry a bit, and we'll come back and we'll give it some acetone or something. Rightio, we're done with the petrol. Got some acetone now. You've got to get on this pretty quick because this stuff will evaporate before your eyes. And even if you accidentally leave the cap off the bottle, it will just evaporate in front of you. Now that firing pin at the end of that was black when we started. So this is good. This is really good. We just give the bolt a good clean out, all the firing pin mechanisms, and this will get all the petrol and anything that was left over to get that all off there. I'm quite happy with that. That'll do. Now we'll do the bolt thing again. Run some all through it. We'll get our little stick down there. All in there, as I say, like a bottle brush, these things, and that'll just give it all a little scrub out down there inside the bolt, around the bolt face. That bolt face is pretty good. So all right, there we go, easy as you like. So what we'll do now is we'll let that bolt get that air dry. Now being acetone, that'll air dry pretty quick, and we'll give it a final blow dry with the little Azeto blower. And then we're good to go. Rightio, he's had long enough to dry, so we'll give him a see if it looks dry. It feels pretty dry. Yeah, he dries a vulture's crutch, so we'll give him a bit of a blow dry with our little Azeto little battery blower. Him. Right, dry as. That is as dry as you need it. So put him over here. Now what we want to do is you want to lubricate this just. So we'll give it a bit of G96. I mean just the smallest bit. We might even apply it with a rag. Just enough. You want just enough on this just to keep it lubricated, and that's all. You don't need to drown these things in oil and grease, because you leave them full of oil, leave everything full of oil, and it attracts dust, and dust makes a paste, and paste either blocks things up or starts cutting things eventually. So we've got him. We'll do the bolt body. Where's the and that's really all you want there. That's all I'm going to give that. So we'll put him back together. So we get our bolt like this. There's our little notch there. Goes in there like that, push, turn him round, boom, there he is. It's all back together nicely. Give him a nice little spray and he's good to go. Now hopefully that'll cure our problems. Rightio, cleaning the rifle bolt, done and dusted, let's put him to bed. Not the hardest thing you'll ever do, and that's another reason I like these Hauer Weatherby type rifles. Very simplistic stuff, you can pull it apart, no tools required to pull it apart. It's stuff you can do yourself with just a little bit of effort. Hopefully I've cured the problem. We pulled the bolt apart. We've cleaned it all out, and we did get a fair amount of rubbish out of it. So and we put him back together, and he cycles nicely. No problems at all there. So I think that's the job done. It's a job well done. So we'll take it out to the range as soon as we can. I'm going to I'll probably put about 20 rounds through it, because that seemed to be where it used to pull up all the time. That would be enough vibration through everything to loosen any of that caked on pasty shit that'd be in amongst the bolt, I think. Hopefully we've cured the problem. If it hasn't cured that, that's as far as my pay grade goes. Unfortunately, that'll be a gunsmith job. It didn't look to be anything wrong with any of the springs or anything, around the place. And as I say, the new Timney trigger's done. That's in there, and there's no issues with that. So we'll see how we go. So that's it. Please, if you liked the video and you got something out of it, I hope you did. Please give it a like, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. That'll be really good. Hit the bell icon to get notifications of new videos. And there's always a bit of content coming out here and there. We've been a little bit snowed under with a few other different things lately, but we're doing as best we can. Bang that bell like it owes you money. That's all I can say. So, and subscribe, throw money, comment. That'd be really good. So, until next time, tell your wife, tell your girlfriend. You can tell them both. Doesn't matter to me. Just go 2 clicks up. Ta-da.